Good evening, everybody. It is Thursday night, which means we are racing once again here at SARCO, and it is round number 4 of our German versus British GT3 series. And we are going local. We are racing at home for some, I would suppose. I do apologize to our internationals, but Kyalami is our home track, and really looking forward to this one. We do have our guest with us. Duncan will be chatting to him a little bit later, but we do have Ashley, as he normally does, join us for the race, but he is in the commentary box racing, and every now and again we do get a few little tidbits from him. Ashley, how are you this evening?
I'm very well, thanks, Dylan. Bit nervous for tonight's race, even though it's a home track, but I'm still pretty nervous that I'm not going to be able to compete with the guys at the top at the moment. Currently doing a qualifying lap. I'm just on my out lap at the moment, so forgive me if I'm not getting the message across clearly.
No, 100%, guys. So I am seeing on the second screen is that they have started their qualifying. They are 8.5 minutes into the qualifying there, and as you can see, 16 drivers here this evening. We did have 17 entered. We'll just have to have a quick look at the roll call and just see who we're missing for this evening. But there is one driver. I do see that we've got Ryan down in 16th place. He wasn't really in the 20-minute practicing that we had earlier on. But let's have a look at just some of the comments that are coming through. So Stephen Smith, hey, race day. Indeed, Stephen will be seeing him racing for the Black Mummers this evening. His teammate Jason, really looking forward to seeing them race. And then we did have a new driver that has come back, and that is Rainmaster. That's Paul Fenter. He's decided to, while his PlayStation is gathering some dust, is get it fired up and come and join his previous teammate Jacques Vermeulen around here at our local race. And there you can see the two Eleanor Bentleys. That is Paul with the more orange front, where Jacques, there you can see he's got the black. And just behind there, I wonder whether that is Jacques. There is Jacques there, car number 13. So indeed, not the highest positioned green number here this evening. That actually goes to Ross, who's currently third in the championship. But then we see right at the top, and the same number as Chase's go-kart, 619 is Jason. He currently is top of the standings this evening in terms of the championship. That disconnect has now brought first, second and third place within 12 points of each other here round number 4. So it is going to make things really interesting at the end of this race, which then brings us to halfway of this championship. So I just wanted to jump onto Rafiki Zede, a new driver that has joined us. His real name is James. So guys, if you are going to be supporting James, let us know where you guys are from. We always love hearing from you. And just remember that our championship this season is proudly brought to you by Deliver Your Parcel. And essentially what they are going to be doing is giving away a 3-man team entry into the F400 endurance race in July. It is an absolutely fantastic event. It definitely teaches you patience. It teaches you mind over matter, as well as just getting on the track with some of the SARCO drivers here. At the previous event, we encountered 12 drivers from SARCO at the F400 challenge. So quite a big show up there. So I do see that Ryan disconnected. He is now back in with 4.5 minutes left to go. He is going to be a little bit pressured down in 16th place to get a lap time in. But now we're starting to see those times come in. A 142.3 for Paul. just under half a second off that time is Jacques. We do expect Morris to go a little bit quicker. He was in those 142s earlier on in the practice, so looking forward to seeing him moving up there. But you can see Paul setting in some of the quicker times here in terms of those sectors. So two purple sectors for him and one purple sector there for Jacques, and then 142.2 for him. And now a man who's currently third in the championship, that is Ross, our Scottish international, our invitational green number for the season. And he did mention that he is missing the Monday night racing as well, so we just might be lucky enough to get him racing with us once again. So we've got Senior Ghost, that is Ethan, one of the drivers that was going to be in this evening. I'm not seeing. That is Jean. He's a GRT Racing, the GTR Racing team teammate, and that is Jean. He isn't in the lobby. Just some other comments coming through, and that's on YouTube. Hi guys, good luck with the race. Thank you very much, Brandon Santos. Brandon not able to race this evening. We've got Kyalami just showing that he is currently watching. And they've got a chat saying, let's go, Marshall. Bring come the win. And, one or two fingers too quick there. Bring home the win. Or bring and come with the win. So I see that Jacques Racing has, as Ross just gets out the way there. Jacques going a little bit quicker, but not as fast as his current teammate. 0.117 off the pace there. Jason still 0.4 off there. Jake's just over half a second, and Morris is still under a second. So it is definitely a Bentley show up at the top there with the one lonely Porsche. I'm looking to see what Chappie's going to be doing, and that is Sheldon in 9th place. I wonder whether he'll be able to get that Porsche further up. And I keep forgetting that I've got to change the cameras. There in 8th place is Craig, and he is... I was actually asked Craig what colour that is. It looks green, yet it looks beige.
It's avocado green.
Oh my goodness.
It's the national color of Yugi.
I didn't even know Yugi was a place. I didn't know that they had their own national color.
Yeah, they got a flag as well. It's
an avocado.
Oh! Avocado, yeah.
Well, that avocado didn't quite help him. Looked like he might have gone over one. So there's a Sheldon just pulling off and going into the pits. One of the other drivers we're not seeing here this evening is Memo. He's currently on a business trip. So for those that were shouting for Veturis, he's unfortunately not here. Connor, I would have expected him to be higher up, but I'm not seeing him. No Connor this evening.
He was there earlier.
Unless he's... No, he's not here. Because it's Jason, Jakes, Marius, Ross, Stephen, Craig, Sheldon, Marshall, Ashley, Pete, Ronaldo, Ethan, James, and Ryan. So some more comments coming through. Clayton Hall, my brother, he's joined saying hello. Dylan, myself and Mr. President are here. So that Mr. President is the president of the Golf Clash Clan. Dare I say that I'm a part of. But it's good to pass the time. I wish I could put in more time, but as you can see, Mr. President, this is what I spend majority of my time on. But thank you very much for joining. So 2 minutes left, and after the 2 minutes, that will be the end So far, Paul Venter up in the top spot, and he is currently going to be on pole position. Jacques in second. Jason still half a second off Paul's time there. Jake's 0.6 off Morris here. He's crossed the line, 0.6 off there as well. Ross 1.1 seconds, so I'm sure he's going to be trying to find a way to get himself further up after his great third place that he had in the last race. It was Morris just coming to a stop. Cameraman Tim getting a little bit confused, wanting to find Stephen. As he'll now go through Cheetah, one of the craziest corners on this track, and it is quite daunting if you do hit that little sausage curve on the inside. Jamie just throws you up into the air and towards the wall, and definitely towards the scene of the accident. So that is the final qualifier. So Paul Venter managed to out-qualify Jacques 0.015 of a second. That's how close that was. So absolutely crazy.
Yeah, definitely see a battle the Bentleys this evening, and one lowly Porsche there in fifth position. But a good time there by Marius, getting around there, just half a second off, but we'll see what he can do in the race.
So guys, while we're waiting for them just to get those setups done and dusted, a quick message from our sponsor. So guys, if you would like to find out more about Deliver Your Parcel, you're able to go to their website. All the details are in the description below. And just support the brands that support SARCO. This is what makes this all worthwhile. I see Zeta Racing, they've joined us saying, let's go SARCO, let's go. And Johan VDV, he's saying, evening. Well, there's a 3 in there, but so that was E3 evenings. In the evenings. I think that's how you would say that.
Right. It's probably the local lingo in George, where he's originally from. After exploring the mountains and finding those magic mushrooms.
Sarcoans. That actually works. I like that. This is how all the Sarcoans doing. So guys, this is the crowd formation lap. We do have a this freaking quit. No, I don't want to quit. Just want to drive. Let's see if I can go out here. No, can't go out yet. So I don't know whether I'll get the start, but let's see what happens. Clayton Hall saying that was amazing. DYP, I'm honored to be part of your racing team. Number 53 F400. Yes, indeed, Clayton. Just haven't called you Clayton in I don't know how many years. Yes, indeed, Masienki. It is lucky to be racing side by side. So the Deliver Your Parcel team has essentially become Lazy Fun Times brother team. We do get to put together, but it was an absolute fantastic race that we had last Sunday. We had the racing butts, Lendl, Vaughan and Brandon. We also had Terry Wolford racing. That was absolutely awesome to see Terry and Andrew Vaughan with Pedro. And then we have seen him racing. That was young Jared. There's a car going off the track there. What's going on there? Is that a wheel that's disconnected or something? Because it looks like Jacques is not on the track. So if ever there was a bad luck for Jacques Racing, he disconnected out of the race last week. Now it looks like he might be having some technical difficulties. So that is absolutely frustrating, I'm sure, for him.
Oh, it looks like he's charging back down the field again.
So we're seeing them coming down the mine shaft, and I'm still not seeing. Okay, there I see it now. So Jacques is now going through turn number 12. I just wonder whether he'll be able to get into position in time before you actually have to be too wide going down the start.
Looks like he is in position.
Just want to see. I still can't get out of this view. So I'm only seeing, unless that other car is a little bit further, but I'm only seeing the one yellow and black Bentley out in front, because it's Jason that I'm seeing. So guys, as they approach the start finish line, so that is a green. So we are currently racing here at Kyalami, heading to what? The wow. Heading down towards turn number 1 through the kick now to turn number 2 into Crowthorne, and Jacques. I'm still not seeing Jacques, definitely not. Okay, there we go. Okay, so it does look like it is still showing him in second place, but I'm seeing Rainmaster as the... Oh, I'm so confused what's going on here. Okay, we'll just give it a few more seconds, guys, just to recalculate itself, because it's saying that we have a Jacques out in front, then it is Paul in second place, but I know that that is Paul in the orange. Then there we go, there's Jason second place, Jacques is in third, Morris down in fourth place in his Porsche, followed by Ross just dropping down. Jacques Racing, there we're seeing him there, so right at the back of the field for him. So he has got a long way to catch up. The question is, does he go in and make that pit stop nice and early, get himself some clean track, and get himself racing later on? So they head through a cheetah, a crazy corner, and there's Morris is spun out in the background there. He's got himself up against the wall. Wonder whether he just clipped. Yes,
oh!
Does a spin around and he collects the driver coming through. Ashley, was that you perhaps?
Yeah, it's Sheldon. Oh man.
These controls are so frustrating. Sorry guys, the controls have decided that they're not playing nicely. Stand by. Okay, there we go. Camera actions are working once again. Man, oh man. this game and their broken things, because now we have seen that we've got Jacques has moved up into second place and Jason now down into third. But both drivers are chasing down Paul Venter, who is out in front. Just 0.7 of a second is the gap there. So there goes your race leader. Let's just jump down a little bit further down the field. And we've got Pete who's chasing down James. So James in the Merc with Pete in that 777 Bentley. Coming through Sunset, one of my favorite corners on this track specifically. I see Craig has gone into the pits, Ronaldo's gone to the pits, Sheldon's gone to pit, as well as Morris. So Morris is down in 16th place, and I'm sure that he had to go in and get some of that damage repaired. We're just going to jump back to this battle here for a second and a third place. Jason going quite wide through a mine shaft. You can see that Jacques' line was a lot tighter on the inside, where Jason ran a little bit wider than him. Jason out on the dirt, that is extremely dangerous to be there. I'm going to just jump back down as cameraman catches up. They'll move to the inside, and that is Morris on Ethan. But Ethan holds his line, and unfortunately Morris is going to have another look, and Ethan losing it, touching up against the wall, and that's going to allow Morris to go past. So Morris now moving himself up the order. We'll just make sure that that is the case when they cross the start-finish line.
I think it was just unlapping himself.
Yeah, that is confirmation of that. So he has now unlapped himself. So Morris not having a really good start to this race. Having a look at some comments. Jan Vididi is saying kick some ass, Stephen. Duppy's joined us. How's it, Duppy? Hoping for a great racing. Hoping for some great racing, guys. I'm pretty sure that he'll be doing that. Duppy, as we see, Jacques now starting to open a little bit of a gap between himself and Jason. But it is Jacques now starting to lose some pace between himself and Paul Venter out in front. Jacques racing down in 10th place. I thought that he might go in for the pit stop, but he hasn't done that. And it is extremely congested in the middle there. We've got Ryan, Pete and James all fighting it out. But very soon they're going to have the likes of Jacques racing from Eleanor in this three-way horse that we're currently seeing. I haven't used that line in a long time. So they now come flying down the mine shaft. Now they'll go into the crocodile. Looking through the turn number 14, just gear down, get the nose in, back on the power through Cheetah, stay off the curb on the inside, and that is now 4 cars. We'll jump on board with Jacques as we follow the cars now towards Perthorn. Jacques very late in the brakes there, but an absolute fantastic overtake there. See how he just allows that car to rotate and gets on the inside. Now he'll go to the outside here through the back of the power through barbecue, using the curb on the outside. But this is where it is make or break. You want to stay as far to the left as possible, a little touch of the brakes, get the car turned in, back on the power, exit speed about 185 kilometers an hour. There's 186, so there's too far off. You can see how Jacques is able to get this big to cars in front of him. And then we have Morris in the background, who's still fighting his way through. But they're going to go 2 wide, maybe 3 wide, as they head back up the hill towards Leeuwkop. Jacques goes to the inside, so he will move himself up past Pete. And his next target is James, just in front of him. Now out the Crocodiles again through turn number 15, Cheetah. Will Jacques be able to unleash the Bentley power on the Burke as they come out of Ingwe, turn number 16 now on the start-finish line, and they're in 6th place. I'm pretty sure that Chad is going to be very happy to see that. Marshall doing extremely well there for the Chasing Beavers. We'll have a look to the inside. It's a very late lunge there for Jacques, but he has been able to make that move stick. But now James on the inside, just about lets Jacques go there. And a little tag on the outside. That is very unfortunate. Jacques, unfortunately, now going off. So he's going to have to work that from the beginning again and get himself back past those 3 drivers.
Yeah, it's not easy fighting in the midfield, that's for sure. Even for any experienced driver.
So there's an almighty battle here happening between James and Ryan. So James was having a little contact there between himself and Jacques, and it looked like Ryan was trying to take advantage of that. And Morris is still a couple of, he's 2 laps down behind Sheldon at this stage. So he's definitely going to have to dig in deep. But I wanted to jump to the front quickly because Paul Fenter is getting a lot of pressure from the back of Jacques now. Jacques now within a minute to go. Within a second. Jeez. So just checking in on some of the comments coming through. Terry Wolford's joined us saying, "Go Sly Pete." And Anti-Clap saying, "Awesome action. Kyalami is very technical," and yes it is. But as technical as it is a really, really awesome racing track. You're able to really put the pressure on, wait for those opportunities, and you're able to force some overtakes. So Paul taking a much tighter inside line there up through the vehicle. And I'm pretty sure that he's starting to feel this pressure, and it's all about whether he'll be able to fend off this Mamba fever, because we all know that it is a thing. So just for the record there, Ashley, I know that you're concentrating profusely on your track, but we've got an LNR driver, then it's a green Mamba, black Mamba, green Mamba, black Mamba. Just saying.
No comment.
So guys, if you have just joined us, welcome. This is round number 4 of our German versus British GT3 series. If you are new to it, welcome. If you haven't done so already, don't forget just to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell if you want to see some more live racing. We do stream on a Monday and a Thursday. We currently have our GT3 Sprint series happening on a Monday night. So if you'd like to come and check that out, that is 2 races of 20 minutes each, and it is absolutely fast-paced and extremely exciting as Ryan just manages to catch the rear coming out of the Crocodiles. And it looked like Jacques followed him, because Ryan was right up the back of him once he got that car going again. So 6 drivers out of the 16 have already taken that mandatory pit stop, and that is the orange block with the number 1 that is in there. That's what that represents. Each of the drivers do need to have a mandatory pit stop. They don't have to do anything on the car if they do not want to. The car just needs to be raised up into the air and once it's up, it will then count the lap time. And as I jump to Jacques, I see that Jacques is facing the wrong way. That looks like he's had it off coming through Cheetah, which now puts Jason up into second, Ross into third, and Jacques is now forced to take his pit. So that is unfortunate. There's damage to the front of the car, and I'm pretty sure that he's going to be wasting time now in getting that damage fixed. So we jump to the action down in 8th and 9th place, and this is actually starting to close up on the back of James. So 7th and 8th is those positions now. Late lunge there for Ashley. They're going to go too wide into Crowthorne, and James is going to be on the inside, but Ashley is able to just get himself ahead going into turn number 3 now, up through a barbecue. Ashley's able to just stretch those legs and open a slight gap between himself and James. So Jacques is still in the pits. He's still dropping down the order, which now has Craig, the highest position driver of the drivers that have pitted. Didn't quite see where Craig was from the first lap. So it will be quite interesting to see where he comes out once the top 5 or 6 drivers or so start going into the pits. But definitely as we approach that 30-minute mark, we've got Paul Fenter out in front. He's got quite a substantial lead over himself and Jason. Ross decides that it's time for him to go into the pits. And this is going to be a great sighting lap now for where Jacques and Craig come out. Just want to see whether the car will jack up. So there's the jack that we were looking for. So that pit stop has now been completed. So Ross is out, and Ross taking only a 15 or so 16 or 17 minute stint, where normally he's the type of driver that likes to get into the pits nice and early, get the pit stop done, and then work his way through some clean air. But it looks like he has definitely timed that pit stop really well. He has come out ahead of Ashley, and he's got himself some clean air that he's able to now go and fight, get those laps in, and he is chasing Sly Pete, who's now just going through the sunset. So 7.5 seconds is the gap there. Morris now on the back of Marshall. So Marshall currently in 4th place, and it looks like Morris is trying to unlap himself. You see Morris down in 2nd place, a mistake there that we saw. So Morris goes up onto the inside, and has he overcooked it? He has indeed. So that lunge on the inside was a little bit too fast. So Morris is going to have to fight back once again. So Paul Fenter currently on lap number 10. 10.5 seconds is the gap that he has between himself and the 2nd place, Jason. So Morris's cornering speed through Ingwe was really good, and I wonder whether he will have a little look to the inside here into turn number 2 at Crowthorne. There he goes to the inside, and I'm pretty sure that Marshall will just let him through. So even though you can see now that Morris is getting away with the blue flag, he's the quicker of the 2 at this stage. So 26.5 minutes left of this race. We still have 7 drivers that still need to pit, and you can see that Ross, when he pitted, he has He's got himself, so that's 7, 8, just about 9.5 seconds gap between the next pitted driver. So we'll definitely keep our eye on when Jason and Stephen go into the pits. Will Ross slot himself between Jason and Stephen, or has Stephen picked up some more pace and started to close that gap on Ross with him having already pitted? So there is a bit of a battle about to begin, because Sly Pete in that 5th place currently is 1.5 seconds behind Marshall. So we'll see whether he's been able to gain up on him, because the last sector time was 1.4 seconds. So they crossed the line, so 1.2, so 0.3 of a second is what Pete has been able to close up on the driver ahead of him. And Ross was 7 seconds behind, so that's now gone down to 6.9. So Ross is now definitely catching up onto the back of Sly Pete. So we jump to a 9th place Craig. He's making his way now through Crowthorne on the back of James. We know that the Bentley is really quick on the straights. Craig will just have to be a little bit patient, because they are still fighting for position. But I wonder where Craig will have a look to the inside here, going into Clubhouse. So then I will go through Sunset, not close enough to put an overtake. And that was where I thought Craig would have a look, and they are now too wide. And James having to go a little bit wider, but no contact there. And Craig is now successfully through there. So Pete now right on the back of Marshall. Half a second is the gap there. And I see both Marshall and Pete just touching the brakes. Going through Cheetah, where I just have a little lift off, turn the car in, and then get it back on the power. So Marshall now going into the pits the same time as Stephen. So Stephen is already on the move. Where is Ross? So Ross has already gone past. So that's a great pit stop there for Ross. And here comes Craig. So Stephen coming out of the pits, he's already now going into Crowthorne. We should just see Craig coming around Crowthorne. There he is there. So that essentially now puts Craig in about 5th position. Knowing that Pete still needs to pit. 26 seconds in the gap between himself and Jason in 2nd place. So Dirk is run about 25 seconds for a pit. Luckily the pit lane is not too long here. And you're able to get onto the power, and you still get to catch up some of the time down that main straight. So 25 seconds is about safe. So if I'm looking at Pete, he's now 25 seconds behind Jason, and Ross having already pitted. So if you take that 25 seconds away from Pete, that's going to drop him down round about here to where Marshall is. There's a car in front of Stephen that took some dirt with him.
I was just posting the soil there, and it's all good.
Oh, was it you? So then we got Jacques Vermeulen in 10th place. Definitely not a position that we're used to seeing him racing in. But more pit stops coming in. Ashley going into the pits, as well as James. James is in the background having his stop there. So Ashley's going to come out, but will he come out in front of Ryan? It does look like it, because Ryan now is only approaching the last corner now. And Ashley is officially out of the pits. 21 minutes left of this race, and we still have our 3 just up in the top there, still needing to pit. James now is starting to look like he might be just fixing some damage. The driver we haven't seen much of this evening is Ronaldo. He's still seeing nursing some damage on the front of that AMG of his. So Ronaldo down in 12th place. And there's James, the confirmation that he's still in the pit, so definitely I'm sure he's getting some paintwork done. But now we jump to Jacques, who's putting pressure on Marshall. Jacques will just sneak up on the inside here through Jacob. But Marshall keeps fighting back as they now head down towards the mine shaft. So Marshall now down into 8th place, and Jacques in to 7th position. So your race leader now starting to close up onto the back of Ethan, but Ethan gets very much out of the way, allowing our race leader to go through. So he is on lap number 14 of this 45-minute endurance race. There's Jason now coming through the media corp himself, and you can just see the cars in front of him. So that was Jacques and Ethan that he has seen, and I don't know whether he can still see Paul Fenter, because Paul 13.5 seconds is the gap between himself and Jason. See there, no touching of the brakes there for Jason. I'm sure just a gear down, turn the car in, back on the power, and a little bit of roughing up on the side of that Bentley. So that's Marshall now. It looked like he's closing up a little bit onto the back of Jacques. Jacques down in 12th position. Not really not having a good race this evening. We saw just the aftermath of him spinning out, going through the cheetah. Morris also using it at cheetah. So the 2 drivers that we expected to do very well here on this track, unfortunately, way down the order this evening. So Pete will cross the sector now, so it will just give us an update. So 27 seconds is the gap there. So he is going to drop down another 25 seconds or so. So if we do that quick calculation, so there's 12 plus 3 is 9, plus Jacques. So I'm expecting that Pete will come out around about 10th place. But anything can happen. So there's Craig from Yugi's Finest. Actually, they're not called Yugi's Finest, they've called something else now, right?
Yugi's Fuggliest.
Yugi's Fuggliest, there we go.
I had nothing to do with it.
100%. So there, just saw Jacques was at 0.1 of a second. He has been able to get himself ahead of Ethan. And Ethan just touching the outside of the grass there on his approach into Sunset. It's very dangerous to do that because the car just doesn't turn in and understeers, and you can find yourself on the outside wall, which is not a fun place to be, that's for sure. So guys, if you are still on the stream, let us know what you think of this racing so far. Let us know who you're supporting. We have always mentioned that the drivers do go and watch the racing afterwards, and they do see all the comments. So just show your support. Let them know that you have been watching. They all will definitely appreciate it, that's for sure. No! Ryan Abrams has joined us saying he's just lost internet, and I see that we're down to 14 drivers. Yes, I can see that, know exactly what all those F's mean, Ryan. That is very unfortunate, man. Sorry to see that. But if there was 16 drivers, that means somebody else has gone out with you. Ronaldo having a very late look on the inside, but deciding to rather just tuck in behind Ethan as they now go up through turn 3 now, through out through Barbecue, and a sneaky inside overtake there for Ronaldo. Manages to ride a bit of the curve through Barbecue, and he now moves himself up into 11th place. An absolutely fantastic overtake there for him. Checking, that is the second place driver in the Bentley approaching this battle. So I'm pretty sure those blue flags are going to start waving soon. And there's Ethan, you can see moving to the outside, allowing Jason to go through. So a little glitch there for Ethan as he just went a little bit further on. So 14 minutes left to go, and still no pitting between Paul, Jason and Pete. Whoa! Jason climbing the curb, and I think that was a great idea for him to go into the pits so he doesn't lose too much time there. So let's see where this puts Peter. Peter now coming through the crocodiles. Stay off the curb. That will eat you for breakfast. So looking at the mini track map, and I do see that Jason is still stuck there in the pits. There he is on his way out, so he will come out just in front of Peter. So that is absolutely incredible. No, he doesn't. Peter has the highest straight line speed around the outside. So a really good pit stop or drive there for Pete, but he still needs to pit. And currently Ross, Dirkie mentioning that looks like Ross has got a cat in the hat this evening, and most definitely because he's effectively in third place. So a back-to-back podiums there for Ross is an absolute great result there for him. So we are looking at the battle for second and third place, knowing that the driver in second, Sly Pete, has to still pit. And they are closing up onto the back of that's James, car number 6. But now our race leader, Jacques. I'm so used to saying that, Jacques. Sorry, Paul. Apologies, everybody. Race leader Paul goes into the pits. And Jason now trying to get himself ahead of Pete, going through the crocodiles. So Paul and his pit stop are now complete. And both Pete and Jason are able to get around James without any hiccups. So Pete now jumps into the pits. And Ross, you can see there, he's really closed up onto the back of Jason, because there's Jason and there's Ross. So that's about, I was going to say about 4.5 seconds, but 5.7 seconds is the gap there. So he really has put in a great drive. So confirmation that Ross is now up into 3rd place. Pete still in the pits. I did predict that he'd come out round about 9th or 10th place. And let's just see what happens. There is Marshall. So Marshall is only exiting the last corner, so I got that wrong. Pete has managed to keep himself in front of Marshall, so Pete is up into 7th place. And Stephen now looking to get himself ahead of James. So Stephen in 4th place, a really great result there for him. So Stephen goes around the outside. So very tricky point to do that, but I do believe that James would have seen that the flags were waving, saw that it was one of the lead cars, and led him through. Then Craig, he's still in this battle, so they're a lot closer than expected. So we could still have a change of the positions in 4th and 5th place. Is this going to give me lap times? Not giving me what I was hoping. So it does look like Craig is closing up onto the back of Stephen. 1.7 seconds is that gap now. And Paul on lap number 20. We have 9 minutes left to go on this race. And we can see that Jason still in 2nd place. So the little mistake that he made running wide, going into the pits, didn't cost him a position. Did allow Ross to close down the gap between himself and the 2nd place driver. We should see Ross coming around, and now just managed to see him. 6.1 seconds is the gap there. So the gap between Craig and Stephen was 1.7 seconds. That is now 2.1, which means that Stephen is now pulling away a little bit of a gap between himself and Craig. You see Morris, he has now got himself up into 13th place, and this is now going to be a fighting for a position, because we did see Morris, after his pits, he did overtake Ethan, and this would be the 2nd time he would need to be doing it. So the first one was to unlap himself, and this one now would be for position as the Porsche gets really squirty onto the brakes up towards barbecue. But I just know how good this Porsche is through sunset. Let's see if he's able to take advantage of this corner speed. Put it on the outside now, and then have a look to the inside at Clubhouse. Not close enough, so Morris just deciding to rather just tuck in behind McLaren. But he's definitely going to make Ethan's life very, very difficult in that Porsche. So Morris should have the run up now towards Leo Kopp, and there he does. Makes that move stick. Morris will take the inside line, forcing Ethan to go around the outside, and Morris now moves himself up into 12th place. Like my forefathers would say, into 12th place.
Just told you, you're riding Mercedes.
Mercedes. Let's see who's driving. So Marshall is driving a Mercedes.
I like to drive my Mercedes.
Yeah, of course, you're also driving a Mercedes. So the current positions in terms of the cars are Bentley, 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 Mercedes, Bentley, Mercedes, Porsche, McLaren, Mercedes. Dirkie said a comment here, that Porsche sounds great. 100% Dirkie. Whoa! A little bit sideways there for Morris. But we are coming to the end of this race. And I see that the gap between Craig and Stephen is closed up a little bit again. 1.5 seconds is the gap there, so it looks like they're playing a little bit of cat and mouse. Stephen goes a bit quicker one lap, the next lap Craig does. But that's what makes for an interesting race, is that you're always just trying to find the advantage of your opponent. So 1.2 seconds now, so definitely Craig seems to have the upper hand now, closing up onto the back of the Black Mamba. Back to Craig and Stephen coming down the mine shaft. So I'm taking a lot of curb on the inside, which is the line that I preferably like. I like to be able to just turn in, just touch the curb on the inside through the mine shaft. It just helps me set up for the braking zone in the middle of the track going into the crocodiles. So will this gap be closer, because Craig managed to close up an additional 0.2 as they cross the line. That is 1 second now. So Craig is on a charge on the back of Stephen, and I'm pretty sure that Stephen is watching with those rear view mirror. But out in front, Paul Fenter. Lap number 23, and he's got 14.5 seconds gap between himself and Jason in second place, and he has started opening up that gap between himself and Ross. Message coming through, where's Jason? Our phone was flat, didn't watch the race from the start. So Dirkie, what happened is that Jason was in second place. He hit the inside curb going through the cheetah, going through cheetah, and unfortunately spun it around, having to go into the pits to get some damage repaired. So he is down in 5th place, which is pretty similar to what had happened to Marius, P2 catching that inside curb through cheetah, and he put it up against the outside wall. So Craig and Stephen, 0.3 of a second now is that gap. And Stephen goes very, very deep through the crocodiles, which I'm sure Craig is now chomping at the bit, because now he's got this Bentley very much in the back of Stephen's Black Mamba. It's all going to be about who gets the exit speed. 2.5 minutes left to go of this race. And Craig getting himself into the slipstream of Stephen in front of him onto the brakes at about 75 meters. The car just rotating. So Craig now moving to the outside through turn number 2 and up through 3 and 4. Craig tighter through Barbecue. And it looks like that might be where he's been able to gain that time. So Craig carrying a lot more speed there through Sunset. You can see how he just closed up onto the back of Stephen there. But Stephen has got 2 laps left just to keep calm. Don't make any rash decisions, and he'll be able to move himself up. And at the same time, you've got Ashley having the almighty battle with a Marshall in 8th place.
The Battle of the Mercedes.
can have a look to the inside here, or you're not close enough. Not close enough. So there's confirmation, guys. The final lap now. So we're just going to have to jump back to Stephen because... Oh, I misread that. Looked like Stephen had caught up to Ross. Wondering whether Ross had made a mistake. But now 0.8 is that the gap, having passed through the previous sector. See Stephen trying to break the toe from Craig behind him, but just over half a second is the difference there as they now head into turn number 2. Back to the 2 Mercedes, and Ashley, what is your plan for this next lap?
Try not to crash into him.
And that is the true words. You first have to finish before you can win. How does that saying go? You focus on your race, and
Thanks.
we'll come back to you shortly. Because Craig is 1.1 of a second behind him. So Craig can have a look to the inside. Well, Stephen just closes that door on him. Was just close enough to not crash into each other. And jumping to the race leader, we've got Paul Finter now coming through Crocodiles. Just want to see what's happening here because there's Craig on the outside. Did not see what happened there.
The leader has finished the race.
So that is confirmation. Paul Finter coming back from moving over to some PC racing joins us for this evening. Puts himself on the top spot. Jason comes home in a second place. Massive sigh there for Ashley. I'm sure he'll tell us what's going on there. Ross back to back, third place is there for him. Stephen managing to fend off the attack from Craig. Craig comes home in 5th place. Jacques manages to recover some points there, getting himself into 6th. Pete in 7th place, a 7th for the 777. And the battle between Marshall and Ashley now going towards the final corner. Looked like Ashley got the better drive, but that finish line is not too far down the main straight, so Marshall will take 8th place, Ashley in 9th. Morris comes home in 10th place with Ronaldo 11th, Ethan in 12th, Jacques in 13th position, and James Newcomer, he will cross the line in 14th place. So guys, while we just wait for the drivers to join us in the Discord, let's just have a quick look from our sponsor. I just hope I got the right one.
Green light, go, go, go.
it. Right, guys, we're just waiting for Ross to join us. So, to those that have just joined us, thank you very much for joining on the stream. This season is proudly brought to you by Deliver Your Parcel. If you have a parcel or a package needing to go locally, nationally, or internationally, they can definitely give you a competitive rate. So go and check out their website, which is www.deliveryourparcel.co.za. All the details are in the links below, so go and check them out. Ross, where are you, Ross? But nevertheless, let's start off with you, Jason. A second place for you this evening, but definitely a big moment for you, coming through Cheetah, running a little bit wide, and then deciding to let's get your pit done and dusted.
Yeah, I actually tried to avoid Jacques there because he made a mistake on that. I think it was the sausage curve there. I tried to avoid him, and I actually hit the wall a bit, so I got some damage. And after that, I couldn't really keep up with the pace. I just tried to settle for second place.
No, 100%. Well, it was an absolute great drive there for you, and a second on the podium. I don't think you should be too worried about that.
Yeah, and Stephen actually ended well as fourth, so we actually got some good points for the team.
100%. Let's go to you, Ross. Back-to-back third places for you as well. Started down in fifth, and some mistakes from some of the guys in front of you. A later than normal pit stop for you. You normally go in that second or third lap, but 10.5 minutes into the race, and you decide to pit then. What's going on?
I'm a new man. Yeah, that was it didn't look it. I had quite a lonely race, but I'm absolutely knackered. That was absolutely exhausting. My first competitive race around Kyalami, so yeah, pleased with that result. But yeah, I came into the pits because I saw Jacques made a mistake in the final sector, and I wasn't sure where Marius was. I know that Marius would probably be coming back through the field, or was expecting that. And yeah, I was trying to kind of help out Jacques, maybe kind of defend Marius, kind of get out in front of Marius and defend from him a bit to kind of allow my teammate to get a position. But it wasn't to be. I got lucky. Some great racing. Got a lot of pressure from Stephen, kind of keeping me honest. And I saw Jacques Vermillion coming back through the field as well, which was giving me the fears. And I saw kind of that time disappearing. But I think he made a mistake in the last kind of couple of laps, or had some problems with flat spots or something. But yeah, I'm a lucky boy. Put it that way.
100%. Take those points and run.
Yeah.
Let's go to you, Paul. Dusted off the PS earlier this week to say you're going to come and have a little race with us, and there you go and stick it on pole, and then go and win the race start to finish.
Yeah, man. Jacques kind of looked a bit lonely, so I said, well, the new owner hasn't collected the PS, so let me dust it off, see if it still works. And jumped in, and yeah, man, was surprised to out-quali Jacques and put it on pole. And then unfortunately his wheel disconnected going into clubhouse, and he was trying to reconnect it, and as he pulled away he teleported back to the pits. So yeah, I mean, heartbreak. Yeah. And then he had a bit of an incident with Rafiki. Had a bit of a tangle there, and then flat spotted the tires, and yeah, he was making a comeback there, Ross. We were counting the seconds to catch you again. With I think 8 or 9 minutes to go, he lost it on one of the corners, and yeah, he just like, okay, well, you know, that's it, done and dusted. And yeah, Jacques was there and with me for a while, and I thought, okay, this might turn into a bit of a nice battle. And then that elusive little yellow sausage curve, I assume he visited that and kind of ended his battle there. So yeah, then it was a lonely race there in the front, and at the end they kind of just coasting around just to get it to the finish. But yeah, it was fun joining you guys. If the console is still around next week, I'll jump in just for the hell of it. But yeah, it was it was fun racing with you guys again, man. It was it's always fun racing with you guys. And congrats, Ross, on the third. It's lucky to see you up there again. And the Hazard, well done. You seem to be new to the front of the field from last I've been here, so that's awesome to see, man. Have fun with that, and go chase those boys out. Thanks, Dylan.
No, awesome. Thanks so much. Ashley, any words there from you?
Yeah. Guys, if you want to get involved, please come and check out our website, www.sarcoracing.co.za. Go sign up, become a member, check out our merchandise. We've got some cool caps and also got some water bottles and face masks if you want to purchase from us. Those purchase and those proceeds go towards keeping the stream and all our little things going. So please, guys, do support us and check us out on Facebook and on YouTube.
No, awesome. Just a big thank you once again to all those that were on the stream or watching. We really do appreciate the support. And as mentioned, guys, just keep those comments going. The drivers do go back and watch the races afterwards. To deliver your parcel, thank you so much for the amazing opportunity and the prize that we were going to be giving. So 3 drivers from out of Thursday night and the Monday night, we will be choosing 3 lucky drivers that will be participating in the F400 karting challenge on the 24th of July, which is going to be an absolutely amazing event. Really looking forward to that. So guys, all I can say is thank you very much. We will see you guys next week. And keep practicing, keep racing, and until then, thanks for watching. Yos.
Okay, cheers, Dylan.
Bye.
Cheers, guys.
Ciao.